Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to my retro review series for the first 4 Mission Impossible movies, leading up to Final Reckoning later this month, and we are now at what is inarguably the worst movie in the series. I don't think anybody will disagree with that statement. This is my retro review for Mission Impossible 2, which came out in the year 2000, is directed by John Woo. This is one of those super rare instances where, when it comes to describing the plot for this movie, I have to turn to IMDb because I couldn't tell you the plot of this film off the top of my head. So the plot for Mission Impossible 2, according to IMDb, is IMF agent Ethan Hunt is sent to Sydney to find and destroy a genetically modified disease called Chimera. Well, that was simple. Why couldn't the movie translate that simplicity? I haven't even hinted at my opinions on this movie leading up to the review. I flat out told you that this is the worst of the Mission Impossible movies, and rewatching it for this set of reviews, that statement still stands because this is the second movie in the franchise. They changed directors. They got rid of Brian De Palma from the first one and brought in John Woo, who is a really good action director, don't get me wrong, and he's got his own unique style to his films, but the problem is that his style and Mission Impossible do not go well together. Mission Impossible 2 does not even feel like it's connected to the first movie. It's just some random Tom Cruise action movie that has the Mission Impossible name slapped on it, much like with Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, where, yeah, it has the name, but this doesn't feel like it belongs in this franchise. This movie feels more like it's trying to be a Pierce Brosnan era James Bond film, and it is so obvious from certain characters, action scenes, and plot points that John Woo is desperately trying to make his own version of GoldenEye. One thing I didn't mention in that plot detail is that there's a rogue IMF agent who is behind this modified disease that he wants to use to spread across the world. That is straight up Alec from GoldenEye, except there's not even a backstory for this character. We had no clue at all if he was even friends with Ethan Hunt. There is a straight up car chase in this movie between Ethan Hunt and Thandiwe Newton that is the opening sequence of GoldenEye. I mean, after the opening title sequence, that car chase that James Bond has afterwards, straight up stolen in this movie right here. Even Ethan Hunt himself feels like a different character altogether. This is Ethan Hunt at his worst. He is cocky, he's full of himself, he's a womanizer, and he just really straight up gave me Owen Grady vibe. John Woo tried to make Ethan Hunt James Bond in this movie, but he came across more like Owen Grady, where he's such a turnoff and such a jackass that I'm like, I hate you right away. If you thought the first movie barely had a focus on the team, this movie straight up goes, what team? I don't see a team. This is the Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt action movie, because the team in this movie is practically non-existent. You have Luther back, once again played by Ving Rhames, but he doesn't do anything in this movie. He really contributes nothing to the film. The other team member is just an obnoxious comic relief who's only there to make jokes. As for Thandiwe Newton, I don't think she's as bad as people were making her out to be, and by people, I mean the Golden Raspberry Awards, but she feels like she's not a part of this team either. She just feels more like a love interest, a Bond girl, mind you, that happens to feel more like an asset than an actual part of the team. And it also doesn't help that the plot is a straight up mess. Like I said, I had to turn to IMDb to give you a plot description, and with the first movie, that movie got confusing at points in terms of its storytelling, but at the very least, you understood some of the motivations in this film, and by the end of it, it started to make more sense. This movie doesn't make a lick of goddamn sense. And what really doesn't help in terms of trying to understand the plot to this film is that every 20 minutes, a character pulls off their face to reveal a mask, and you're like, okay, who's who at this point? Who am I supposed to be following? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Who's really who in this film? There is even a scene near the big climax of the film where the villain kills Ethan Hunt. Kills, I should say. And there's no emotion to it at all because, well, one, you're not going to kill off the main character of this franchise, especially played by Tom Cruise, in only the second movie. And two, we've gone through this entire movie with nearly every character pulling a mask to reveal their true identity, that why should we even believe that this is Ethan Hunt that you killed? It could be a random henchman for all I care. Oh, and guess what? It was a random henchman. It's flat out ridiculous. It's stupid. It's nonsensical. The best thing that can be said about the movie is that it is well shot and the action is kind of cool, but that's almost a mark against the film because, again, it doesn't even resemble what Brian De Palma set up with that first film. And the action itself is just so absurd. You have Ethan Hunt riding a motorcycle and basically flying in the air with it against the villain. The way the bad guy dies is that Ethan Hunt sees a gun in the sand. He kicks it up in the air perfectly, grabs it, turns around, and shoots the bad guy repeatedly. Not to mention all the forward flips that Ethan Hunt does in this movie where he defies gravity. I'm like, this could really be a lot of fun. Like, putting aside the fact that this doesn't even resemble the first movie, just as an action movie itself, this could be a lot of fun if it didn't take itself so seriously. There is not an ounce of humor in this movie. So when you get those ridiculous John Woo slow-mo scenes, the motorcycle chases, and those doves flying everywhere, it becomes unintentionally funny. So yeah, this is a terrible movie regardless. The best way I can describe Mission Impossible 2 is that it looks like a movie from the 90s, but has the attitude of the 2000s, where it is just so stylized, so macho, and the Hans Zimmer score in this movie is terrible. This might actually be his worst score, especially with all those hardcore rock interpretations of the Mission Impossible theme. It is terrible on all accounts, and I say don't waste your money on it. I'm not going to tell this movie to burn in hell because leading up to it, even when I originally saw this movie, I was told it's terrible, and I'm like, well, I wasn't lied to. This was a terrible movie, and it still is a terrible movie. And there you go. That's my review for Mission Impossible 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if there's one other good thing that I could say about this movie is that I think it's the only bad Mission Impossible movie. Knocking on wood, because I haven't seen The Final Reckoning yet, but tune in next week where I'll be talking about the vastly superior Mission Impossible 3. Because when you have essentially killed a franchise, who do you turn to but J.J. Abrams? So we're going to talk about that movie next week, or right now if you're a YouTube member. Because next week, I'm actually going to be at the Cannes Film Festival. That's not a joke. I'm actually going to be at the Cannes Film Festival, where they are showing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which hopefully I can see, but I'm not going to be in the country for the next 2 weeks. So if you're a YouTube member, you can actually watch my reviews for Mission Impossible 3 and Ghost Protocol. But if you're not a YouTube member, tune in next week for my review for Mission Impossible 3 and the week after for my review for Ghost Protocol. But until then, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Mission Impossible 2. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.